It's your boy MightyMouth back with another video here. Gonna show you so far what I've come up with for this Shout Dust Devils build. I think next season, if we try real hard, we'll be able to throw a razor plate on here. But as you can see, you would have to work on your resistances a little bit. Well, but I do know the Paragon board switch. One of the main reasons why we're using these Rackonoff's wakes is that resistance is so good. Easy peasy. But for right now, the build is pretty straightforward. Materials, every time you shout, boom, 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 it's just going out. Fists of Fate, I feel like this is the best option. To bolts, you'll see why. Rackonoff's Wake, cooldown reduction. So far I just upgraded them to 12. I didn't sit there and try and get a triple crit on cooldown reduction because I feel like where I'm at, it's kind of pointless. Because it seems like, as you can see right here, it says 16% on the boots, but we go from 68, add 17.6, and all that comes to a grand total of just over 5% cooldown. So with a triple crit on there, maybe we reach the 75 cap, but even still that doesn't really solve our issues. I'm thinking obviously bricked this, was going for Call of the Ancients cooldown on this one earlier in the season, but it is what it is. And this I don't believe is the best option. What we would want is something like this. Reroll that duelist to, I don't know, crit or strength. Because again, if we get cooldown reduction on, what does it do? What does it really do for us? So back to the build. We got a chance to cast twice. I'm contemplating if instead of crit strike damage, we go with damage while war cries are active. Because you're just spamming war cries. To me, it makes the most sense. But these were what I had from the Dust Devils build, so we just ran with it. And then obviously you would go with maybe, instead of crit strike damage, maybe vulnerable damage on the actual affix roll. But crit strike damage is never bad. Or maybe flat damage. I don't know. I don't know what's best. I haven't tested. But Magnum Opus, I feel like gives a gigantic boost in damage, even just using war cries. And we'll go over that in a second. I got this baby early in the season for like, I don't know, 15 million or something. Triple greater affix Ancient's Oath at like week 2. I've just been sitting on it trying to put this build together. Again, these rings are what I had from the Whirlwind Dust Devils build, so I just threw them on. But so we got Shaco, Tyraels, Fists of Fate to bolts. Racnoff's Wake. So you don't have to worry about tempering any of those. Obviously, Fierce Winds goes on here. This is our biggest damage multiplier. We throw Earthquake Aspect because we're using Ground Stomp. Magnum Opus, Ancient's Oath. I threw Inner Calm on here. It's not bad, but again, you're not always standing still. But for the most part, if you watch the gameplay, you will be. Then Edge Masters, you could go Elements here. Edge Master is fine, but I got the Bold Chieftain on here just because we're not quite where we need to be. We really need this cooldown to somehow, I don't know how, but be better, even better. Because even with 75% cooldown and Bold Chieftains, I mean, look, you got 6.56 seconds. If you're fighting a single target, a boss, you're only getting 3 off that, so you still have a 3.5 second cooldown on your Rallying Cry on that. But somehow, some way, having 2 rings with Warcry cooldown reduction, one being a perfect roll, it only gives us 0.4 seconds off of the cooldown. So I'm thinking maybe you don't need the ultimate skill cooldown. Maybe we roll Challenging Shout cooldown on here, or we just concede that whole thing and we throw on raid leader ranks to get more survivability. We're constantly hitting our shouts, an additional 3% of our max life per shout. Cause there's a few variants, and that raid leader, if you're like in the overworld, instead of Edge Masters, or I guess instead of Inner Calm, you could throw on the Dust Devils, Devilish aspect for when you generate Fury, and then on here you could put the Starlight aspect, and then when you're popping those shouts, you're just constantly healing your boom, 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 20%, big spike, Fury, big spike, Fury, boom, you're casting Dust Devils, Dust Devils, Dust Devils. So it just kind of helps clear the like weaker mobs, but it doesn't really hit that hard. So I wouldn't, for pit pushing, I definitely wouldn't do it. For hordes, I wouldn't do it. I did it, it's possible, you can do a T8 with it, but the bosses take like, I don't know, 3.5 minutes, so that's kind of rough. Now there's another variant I have where I throw Temerity on, and then you replace one of these aspects with the conceited aspect, which, in my opinion, is a way more consistent way to play it. But you're losing a 20% damage multiplier from the bolts, and you're losing maximum resource, which is an additional damage multiplier with your Magnum Opus. But all in all, that's the build I'm running in my other video where I did the T8. I had Temerity on, barrier up constantly. I mean, it was very effective. It worked. Skill tree, pretty straightforward. Just enough ranks into something to get down to here. Ground Stomp into Tactical Ground Stomp. You don't really need the ultimate skill cooldown because you're popping stuff so fast. Imposing Presence, 3 ranks. Rallying Cry all the way to Strategic, 1 point in both of these. Challenging Shout down to you gain 6 Fury. That way you're just always capped. If I ran the Razor Plate, I think I would definitely go for this one. But this also helps if you're running the devilish aspect. You're proccing over and over again. When enemies are hitting you, you're proccing Dust Devils. So if you're in the Helltide and you're just like, man, I gotta take a piss real quick, and you're just AFK, you come back, you're gonna be fine, because every time something hits you, boom, you're just casting Dust Devils out. And there was another variant I ran with Andariels, but then we can't run the Rakanoff's Wake, and we have to put armor on our boots. And you're basically unkillable, because every time something hits you, you're causing bleed and Dust Devils. And then when that happens, you deal damage, which gives you life on hit. So you're just, it's like a revolving door of your life goes down a tick, it goes back up. But also, when you have Temerity on, once a couple of enemies hit you and they're getting those bleed ticks with Andariels, you're filling with barrier. So that's pretty dope. What's up, Grace? Then we go Warcry all the way to Power Warcry. 3 points in all of these. I really just didn't have anywhere else to put these points, so these ones are important. This one, okay, increased critical strike chance. We kind of lack a little critical strike chance here. Steel Grasp all the way down to Warrior Steel Grasp for the additional charge. Thick Skin, 3 ranks counteroffensive. I just take the second Prime Call of the Ancients. You could, in theory, go for this and just take a point out of somewhere else, but I don't really see the point. And then we use Wallop and Concussion, and that's important because we are using a one-handed mace and we are a dual-wield build. Then for our key passive, obviously Unconstrained. Next season it would be the Barbed Carapace, so that would be the way to go. Paragon board, I haven't really optimized. I'm just running my Whirlwind Dust Devil board. I haven't changed it. A lot of this will be changed out for more max life nodes for survivability and such. But basically, we have Exploit in here, which I think would change to Rumble. Warbringer, we go Wrath. Dust Devils on the Blood Rage board. Decimator, we go with Revenge, just because nice damage multiplier. And now we do the Carnage board with Marshall. Go down into Flawless Technique, and that's where I have Earthquake. Again, this is not optimized, so it's just kind of like thrown together based on my Whirlwind Dust Devils build. I think I will end up with 7 glyphs in the planner for Season 5. Obviously only 5 glyphs in the planner for Season 6. I think what I would do is I would take Exploit out and put Ambidextrous in, because both of my rings have lucky hit chance to make vulnerable, so we're sitting at like 70 something %, I believe. Yeah, just over 70%, so that's not bad. But I will have a video out for gameplay and all that, a couple of variations. Right now I'm probably going to start testing the Razor Plate variation, try and see if the Thorns helps out. I don't know where I would pop Needle Flare in at, but it's going to have to be in there somewhere. And that's the build. Hope you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment if you will. Give me some constructive criticism. And we'll see you.